Tual Island, situated in Indonesia's far eastern Bandar Sea. It's a long way from its capital Jakarta, even further from Myanmar, but it's home to perhaps hundreds of runaway Burmese fishermen. They say they've come here on Thai fishing boats and jumped ship after surviving slavery and murder on the high seas.
Thai captains and skippers are committing inhumane abuses against our Burmese seafarers.
The
guy was hit at the back of his head and his brain spilled out. I grabbed him. He took an hour to die.
I've seen people break down, laughing and crying in front of me. It's the way they feel.
So Min is one of hundreds of Burmese fishermen on Tual who escaped, only to be abandoned and forgotten by the world.
The Burmese here have got a lot of problems. Not small problems, big problems. Even today, there are many people who've got trouble. They're missing Burma and facing a lot of hardship.
And for them, this remote, little-known island, thousands of kilometers from their military-ruled homeland, is no paradise.
We stay here because we've got no options. We don't want to stay in another country. Everyone wants to go home.
I try to keep my temper and be patient in these surroundings, because here I don't have any rights. For example, if I have cigarettes and a local guy demands a smoke, I have to give it to them because this is their country. It's pretty degrading.
No one has an accurate figure, but there could be anything from 7 to 1,200 runaway Burmese seafarers on Tual and its surrounding islands. Living in constant fear of arrest, many of them, like So Min and his friends Tin 9 and Tan 9, eke out a precarious existence by foraging or farming in the forested interior.
At first I couldn't speak the language. I knew only a few words to ask for food and directions. As long as we had jobs and money, local people took care of us. But when we had nothing, they ignored us. I just wandered around the place. Sometimes I even had to beg water from other people. I made a fire and dug up roots on the farm near where I was living. The local people warned me that they were poisonous and told me not to eat them. They said you have to slice it and squeeze the water from the root. Then it was safe to eat. But I said I don't understand any of this. If I die after I've eaten it, I don't care. I was hungry, so I ate it. I've faced so many difficulties here.
33-year-old So Min says he fled Myanmar as a soldier after he was ordered to massacre innocent villagers.
Whenever we entered the village, you could say that the village had a problem. There was fighting and shooting. The commander ordered us to kill every man in the village and burn it down. We had to follow his orders. Some people didn't know anything at all. They were only 15-year-old boys. We killed them all.
But at sea, working illegally aboard a Thai fishing boat with false Thai papers and only a vague promise of wages, So Min found himself in a world just as brutal. One where the crew was treated no differently from the catch.
On that day, we started lifting the nets at 8 a.m. Ever since we left Thailand, my friend had been seasick and he was not familiar with the work. The skipper didn't like him at all. My friend couldn't speak Thai, so he couldn't understand what the skipper told him.
ဘယ်နည်းပြောတဲ့စကားကို तू ကနားမလဲတော့နားမထောင်တယ်လို့ဖြစ်တယ်အဲ့လိုအချိန်မှာအပေါ်မှာရေပိုက်ကစီးကျနေ तू ဘောင်းကိုဆွဲလိုက်တဲ့အချိန်ကျတော့
The water from the pipe was running around the deck, and the squid was washed overboard.
အဲ့ချိန်မှာ
The skipper came down and hit him with a pipe. He raised his hand against the first blow, and his hand broke. The second blow smashed his shoulder blade. Then he hit this place. He fell to the deck. There were other Thai workers near him. The skipper dropped the pipe, washed his hands, and went back to the wheelhouse. He ordered his people to throw him into the water. We saw he was still alive.
ဘယ်နည်းအပေါ်ရောက်တော့မိုက်ကင်လိုက်တယ်
When he went back to the wheelhouse, the captain took the loudspeaker and warned everyone who was watching. What are you looking at? Get back to work. If you want to end up like him, then behave like him.
Thai authorities say it's difficult to investigate murders on fishing boats moving through international waters.
กรณีที่เกิดขึ้นที่ไหน
We have to know where it
เกิดขึ้น
happened.
ในเขตประเทศไทย
If
หรือ
it
เปล่า
happened within
ใน
Thai
น่านน้ำประ
territory,
เทศไทย
we have
หรือ
officers
เกิ
to
ดขึ้นใน
check.
เขตน่านน้ำของต่าง
They
ป
are
ระเทศ
stationed in 22
นะเพราะฉะนั้น
provinces.
ถ้าเผื่อถามว่าได้ข่าวหรือไม่ได้
Also,
ข่าว
we have the
แต่
Thai
ต้อง
Navy
ต้อง
which
ดูว่า
investigates
เหตุที่เกิด
immigrants.
ขึ้นนั้นเกิดขึ้นที่
If it happened outside Thailand,
ถ้า
we
เผื่อ
can't
เกิ
do
ดขึ้นในน่าน
anything
น้ำไทย
because it would be under other countries' laws.
So Min witnessed another horrific murder by the Thai captain.
အဲ့ချိန်မှာဒီကောင်ချီထိုင်ပါနေတယ်ခဲပြပေးမှာ
The guy was defecating over the side of the boat.
ဘယ်နည်းကို तू သွားပြောမှာ
While he was defecating, the other people reported it to the skipper.
တစ်လုံးဆွဲယူရတယ်
The skipper came down, looked around, picked up a pipe, then hit him only one time. We saw he was hit, but didn't see exactly where he'd been hit. His body fell directly into the water.
အဲ့ချိန်မှာအဲ့လိုကြာသွားတဲ့အချိန်မှာနောက်ပိုင်း
After that, whenever it was busy, everybody was terrified to go to the toilet. Some people did it in their pants while they were working.
ถ้าเผื่อว่ามีประจักษ์พยานชัดเจน
If they have a witness, they can come to make a report with
เรา
us.
นะฮะมาพบเรา
We are happy to
เราก็ยินดี
resolve
ที่
the
จะ
problem
ดำเนิน
for
คดี
them.
ให้แต่ปัญหาคือ
But the
คน
problem
ที่
is
ไม่
that
มา
these people won't
จะ
come
มาพบ
because
เรา
they know they are illegal
เพราะเขา
immigrants.
เองก็รู้ว่าเขาเนี่ยเข้าเมืองโดยผิด
But I must say that
เพราะ
using
ฉะนั้น
workers
ไอ้
as
เรื่อง
slaves is a
ต้องบอก
crime.
ก่อนนะฮะว่า
So if one has
ปัญ
seen
หา
this
เกี่ยวกับ
happening,
เรื่อง
one must take it seriously.
So Min says he was faced with a choice: stay on the boat and die, or jump ship when it docked at Tual. Despite the horrors he witnessed, he has finally found some peace and happiness. 9 years after arriving on Tual, he met Poppy. They married and have 2 children.
Ya, saya takut juga tapi mau buat bagaimana.
I'm
Kita
always
sudah
very
tahu.
afraid he'll be taken
Itu
away
saya-
from me.
saya terima
But what
saja
can I
karena
do?
sudah
I'm
pernah
married to a
bersama
foreigner,
dengan
and I
saya.
accept this. Our lives are now one.
Aduh, itu kalau saya itu anggap saja itu binatang, kasihan. Kita sayang tapi
I feel so sad at what happened to Somin and his friends. They are human beings, you know. The Thai captain is an animal. He is so cruel and feels happy to kill other people. But for us, it's very difficult.
Saya sayang, saya sedih. Maksudnya mereka akan merantau.
I feel very sad about these Burmese people because they left their countries to make a living, and then they were murdered and thrown into the water by the Thai captain. One of my brothers is also a migrant worker who left his country to make a better life for himself.
45-year-old Saing Winner is unmarried and leads a solitary life on Tual.
ကျွန်တော်ဗရီကနေပြီးတော့ကော့တောင်းကနေပြီးတော့လာတယ်ပေါ့
I came from Kautang and was sold in Ranong. Since that time, I've worked as a fisherman. Throughout that time, brokers have passed me from one hand to
ဒီ
another.
လောကမှာစရောက်လာတဲ့အချိန်ကနေစပြီးတော့သူကဘယ်လိုလဲဆိုတော့ဘွဲလာကြောင်း
We were sent to Bangkok. When we arrived in Bangkok, I didn't know where to go or what to do. There I met a guy from Runaway. He asked me, "Brother, do you want to work on a boat?" I replied, "I came to work on a boat." So he knew I'd been sold in Mahachai.
ကျွန်တော်နေလိုက်ဖို့လာတာပဲဒီအခုရောင်းစားသွားတယ်ပေါ့မဟာချိုင်မှာသဒ္ဒနာတွေကဘာလဲဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဗမာလူမျိုးတွေကိုဗမာလူမျိုးကလေးကို
The problem was one of our young Burmese guys, a Thai cook, beat him with an iron bar in front of my eyes. The skipper asked if the guy was dead or not. I told him, He hasn't died yet. Leave him alone. I'll look after him.
လေးလေးအားကျွန်တော်ပြောတယ်မလုံနဲ့ကျွန်တော်ဗမာလူကျွန်တော်ပဲလုံကောင်းလေးကဒီနောက်ကနေလှန်ရိုက်တယ်အုံနောက်ပွင့်တော့ပါ
The guy was hit at the back of his head and his brain spilled out. I grabbed him. He took an hour to die. The young guy took an hour to die.
လုံနဲ့ကျွန်တော်စဉ်းစားလိုက်တယ်သူ့မှာတည်တဲ့နေခွေးတူပဲတည်ရပါ
I think our Burmese boatmen die like dogs and pigs.
ဟောပြန်လို့လည်းအဆက်တော်လည်းမရှိဘူး
We can't go back to Burma. We have no contacts. When we have contacts, we don't have money. We've got a lot of difficulties back in Burma, so we can't go back.
Sang Winner is a member of Myanmar's ethnic minority Chin people, legendary jungle fighters who fought with Allied forces against Japan in the Second World War. He escapes periodic police and immigration department dragnets by hiding in the forest.
We Burmese are always afraid of the police. Even when we are sleeping, we have to be alert. All the Burmese boatmen on the island, not just us, are suffering the same way. There are many of us here now. We've come to this island because of our difficulties. Everyone wants to be reunited with their families. But it's not as if we can walk back home even if we wanted to. It's like this. We left our country in the hope of making more money. Then we arrived in another country. We realized our situation was worse than back home. We got just enough from work to feed ourselves. Sometimes we starved.